My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Slay the Spire. It's time to go with the silent... There we go, elite spawn more often. I could even do without that on the silent TBH. Alright, the seed that we are working with is 825505 2987 1155 72373. Alrighty then, that's probably, I have to imagine, written in the description down below. Or if there's a different seed written in the description down below, then I lost this run and I've done a different one as well. Random common relic. Ooh, Blood Vial at the start of each combat, heal 2 HP. A lot of... That's way better in the silent, because it is one of your only ways of accessing healing. I mean, you've got Blood Vial, bandages, and bite. Blood Vial, bandages, bite, meat on the bone. But meat on the bone, you have to be on low health to activate. So Blood Vial, bandages, bite, meat on the bone. And then Magic Flower is actually a Ironclad specific relic. So yeah, that's all of your options. While there is a 3 elite path, there's a path with 2 elites early, and then it just has a wild ride afterwards. Bunch of rests, bunch of quests and marks. Yeah, we gonna be going for that. Beauty. Jawworm can be a problem depending on your draws. Like, for instance, if the Jawworm is not attacking one turn and you happen to draw only one attack, then that's going to be really rough for you. Luckily, that's never happened to me a couple of times this fight. Alright, well now we're going to start taking some damage because I can't fully block here and I can't kill. Alright, well I can fully block this one thankfully, and then you're not going to defend, so 3 strikes kills. Well, 2 strikes and a neutralize does as well. Blur's just too powerful of a card to really turn down early. Upgrade 2 cards, sure. 2 strikes, not bad. That's going to help us get through these 2 upcoming elites. So it's definitely strike each of you once, use the blur, get myself that ongoing block. So, here's the thing. We've actually got 2 elites in literally 2 spaces, right? So as much as I want to take Escape Plan, I think I might have to take Sucker Punch just so that I have another offensive card, right? And another application of weakness. Because otherwise, those 2 elites can just moiter me. I'm going to take the Sucker Punch. Because I can't rely on getting a better card after this fight. Make sure to fully defend, get my 2 HP healed every single round. Beautiful. And mutilate him. Explosive Potion, super handy. Yikes. Well, this is like a deck-defining moment, right? Do I want attacks? Do I want defense? Do I want deadly poison? Like, basically, defensive. It can also be a defensive option in an offensive deck, to be fair. Offensive, because you need to have a lot of attacks. You need a higher attack density so that you can actually utilize finisher quite effectively. So it goes in an offensive deck. And then poison. I think it's just not poison. We've taken a defensive and a defensive and an offensive card. There we go. Already. So I think we'll take the one that fits into both an offensive and a defensive deck. We'll take an after image here. Remove a card. Well, we'll probably remove a defend now because we've already picked up a blur, but we've also got that after image. Blur's actually not going to do anything. Unless I woke up the enemy this turn, and I'm not going to. Maybe. Yeah, you know what? I mean, because... this will just block us for next turn. I'll drink this, then I'll wake you up this turn, because my next turn's going to be overly offensive anyway. So this basically just gives me full block while I do that aggressive turn. Now, the fight against the Lagavulin is basically a damage race, so you can't really afford to slow down. Quite glad to have neutralized Sucker Punch in this hand. That's actually really effective. Gonna keep the enemy weak for the 2 turns that they are most potent. Should be able to kill in the next 2 turns without that explosive potion, which is gonna be really nice. Yeah, beautiful. Being able to hold on to this explosive potion, so if we have a Sentinel upcoming, it's gonna be so good. Bag of Preparation, Poison, and I think we'll just take a second copy of Blur, and then we just cut all of our defenses. We just have After Images and Blur. Almost certainly a Smith here. It's probably Neutralize or Sucker Punch. Gonna get that weakness application upgraded. Yeah. Especially important for this fight. Quite glad I've done that. We will throw the Poison Potion out as well as Double Strike. Triple Strike? I was thinking about using the After Image that turn, but I think I'm still probably better served by keeping on top of my strikes instead. So I can choose now to prevent 4 damage by killing with the Explosive Potion, or I can just wait a turn and then moiter. There we go. Regal Pillows, unfortunate, but fine. It is heal an additional 15 HP when you rest. The Bag of Preparation is an additional 2 cards in your opening hand, along with the Ring of Snake means our opening hand is 9 cards large. Mercury Hourglass, at the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. That's actually really handy. I'll go pretty heavy on this. Nice! Unceasing Top, and it only cost us 3 HP there. If you have no cards in hand during your turn, draw a card. Well, now we go for an Unceasing Top deck, and it's pretty much non-negotiable. Which means that anything that has a cost pretty much needs to be removed from our deck. But it also makes After Image way better. I could go for this Elite over here, but I'm actually better prepared. I'm actually better served by preparing my deck for later. By just removing more cards. Who's my boss at the end of this floor? Hexaghost? Ooh. That's actually not that great. Bronze Scales, whenever you take damage, deal 3 back. That's a free Caltrops in play for us at all times. I think I might want to upgrade one of these blurs, but at the same time, you know what? I don't want to rest before this fight, because if I rest, I'm going to get a fair bit of HP, but then I'll also get the Regal Pillow giving me HP. And then on the second turn, the Hexaghost deals damage basically equivalent to 60% of your current HP. So the higher your HP, the more damage he does. So I actually would only be increasing my HP by 40% of what I end up healing. Which is probably going to be, I would guess, like 10? Which I think I can negate just by upgrading one of these blurs. And I'm probably still going to want to keep the blurs in my deck. Oh, I have a really good opportunity here to After Image, just double blur. I think I'm actually just going to single blur weaken, because that's also going to provide a lot of block for us. Nice. Hit yourself for a solid 18 damage on me. The 3 damage every single turn from the Mercury Hourglass should not be overlooked. It is considerable. Alright, and we're already protected from this turn. The problem with this turn, however, is burns. Yeah, there's our first burn. If we can cycle through our deck fast enough, we can actually just have Blur played at all times. Which is pretty much the goal. Alright, enemies on half HP. Yeah, this is actually a bit rough. And we're not going to have a Blur played this turn, unfortunately. So we're not going to be able to keep this block until we get to the third trigger. We'll keep some of this, though. Ouch. Ooh, 18? I mean, thanks to the weakness, 18, not that bad. And we're still perfecting this fight. Those upgraded burns, though, are going to make our life pretty hellish. I need damage every single time I can get it. As much as I want to play the other Blur this turn, I need damage every single time I can get it. Alright, I can perfect this fight. Right, because these will remove all of my block, and then you'll hit me once, and then you'll deal damage. So I can perfect this fight by throwing the explosive potion, so I'm going to do that. Hey, Wraithform's been upgraded. I don't think it goes in this deck, though. Does it? Maybe it does. Well, let's think about it. We're going to be cutting all of our defenses. The deck isn't aggressive enough yet to really use it. Like, if I had literally one backstab in this deck, I would take it. But I don't have anything like that, right? Instead, it's going to be unplayable a lot of the time for me. Yeah. And it's going to severely chunk up our unceasing top. One of the big problems here is when you have the unceasing top, one of the most important things you can get is extra energy, so it's pretty much non-negotiable that I have to take the goddamn ectoplasm here. I'm mad. I've taken ectoplasm 2 runs in a row, and I'm still mad about it. I will never not be mad about it, okay? I'm an endless fountain of mad. Ready then? We'll weaken each of you. The large size of our opening hand is pretty negative. Like, it's not amazing. Just because we have the unceasing top. There's literally one 0-cost card in our deck we could have drawn there, so while it was a mistake to end our turn early, it wasn't that big of a mistake. Outmaneuver is actually pretty good in a deck with the unceasing top. It lets your next unceasing top go for longer, just because you're... With an unceasing top deck, because you have literally infinite draw power, you will always be able to use extra energy. That's the reason that you take ectoplasm. You're never going to be in a position where it's like, oh, I've got all this extra energy, what do I do with it? Because things like this will just happen. Just looking for a neutralize there. Never mind. Still got the kill. Slice. 0-cost attack. Don't mind if I do. Lantern's actually really good. Yeah, it's lantern removal. See, the path I want to go down has another shop later. So I could also just go for removal. Which is also quite good. The reason to go removal is to increase the density of your 0-cost cards by reducing everything else. In a deck where you have 9 cards in your opening hand, Lantern is just too impactful. I can really hardly turn it down. I don't need to take any damage in this fight, so... Wee bit of block there. Thank you for the slice. Beauty. And by increasing our cycle through our deck, our ability to get to our next blur and keep blur pretty consistently active is going to be pretty ridiculous. And then blur is basically just going to keep for us the damage that, rather the block that we attain from After Image. Which, considering how many cards we get to play in a turn, is really considerable. Another card that would look really, really good in this deck would be Panache. Because it's going to be exceedingly rare for us to play turns where we don't actually play at least 5 cards. And sometimes we'll play considerably more than that. Sure, another upgraded slice. Remove a card from my deck, yep. Get another defend out of there. This is going to be a wee bit of a test for us. All right, 779. I play a defend. I go up by 6. I go to 23, 779. I'm literally fully defended at that. Sure. Unfortunately, my blur is not actually really doing anything for me at this point, but still. It's really unfortunate I can't kill this slaver. No, I could have killed it. Oh, I drew a strike there. I'm a moron. $13, $9, $22, $7. If I throw a weaken on the backliner, you go down from 13 to 10. So 10, 16. No, I still take damage. Bugger. Yeah. That's my fault. I could have perfected this fight. No, actually. I was never going to be able to perfect that turn. Still, I could have taken less damage in this fight. Dreamcatcher and a weak potion, don't mind if I do. Caltrops. Nah. Thanks for the offer, though. Sure. Fight all y'all as well. Then Sucker Punch and a Stab will have you dead. He was going to die at the start of the next turn due to the Mercury Hourglass anyway, so I should have played a defense there instead. Alright. Looks like it's not really going to matter, but still. It's worth noting my mistakes so I don't make them later. Red Mask at the start of each combat, apply 1 weak to all enemies. Quite handy. Considering how many weaks we have in the deck, we can actually take a heal hook. We've got the Sucker Punch. We've got the Neutralize. We've got the weakness applied on the first turn due to the Red Mask. We've got a lot. Let's upgrade that outmaneuver. We should pretty much just exclusively upgrade the cards that we're not going to be removing from this deck. Snecko Skull, whenever you apply a poison, apply 1 additional poison. That's really unfortunate to see. Oh look, a slice that I can afford. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, right on, shop. Right on, my dude. I should just throw that weakness on the back line, because this guy might decide to attack on the next turn. It's not super common, but he can decide to attack on that turn. So I just wanted to be... I had 4 extra energy. I didn't need to do that. That was bad. That was extremely bad on my part. That was just really poorly played. I entirely forgot. Yeah. I probably would have been fine that turn as well. I entirely forgot that I had all that extra energy and that I had the draw from the unceasing top. I ended my turn too early. Well, mistake to learn from. Awesome. Show me damage. This guy's gonna die when he hits me anyway. So I'll actually just let you. Allows me much more time to focus on the backliner, who is the actual threat here. Beautiful. And then just brutally mutilate him. Goodbye forever, friend. Bottle Tornado. Upon pickup, choose a power card at the start of the combat that will be in your hand. We have 1 power card in the deck, and it's already in our opening hand. I was just thinking about this. Crumbs. I think I take the Envenom. Oh, I don't want to, but I think I do. We have the Sneko Skull. We play a lot of attacks. So I had a debate about Envenom recently. I think it was with Brandon Bevel, the comment section down below. And effectively my position was that a lot of the time I don't take Envenom because I can't find, like, the decks that would best benefit from Envenom typically tend to be decks with a high concentration of attacks, right? Because you want a lot of small attacks so you can get a lot of triggers of the poison. But decks that I run like that tend to be super aggressive. And because they tend to be super aggressive, they run into a position where they don't really want to spend a card and an energy and an upgrade on Envenom. Because if you're planning on ending the game on turn 1 or 2, Envenom is like a bad inflame, right? Because it doesn't have that consistent damage tick, because you're not relying on that. You are planning on bursting the enemy immediately. If it was ever going to make an appearance in a deck of mine, before it probably gets changed, it would be right now. And I have Sneko Skull and... All right. Defend with that. UD. You should be dead, right? Yep. Dead as disco. I kind of want to take Finisher, but at the same rate, I kind of want to take Terror. It's just anything except Dash here, basically. You should be playing a lot of attacks, especially courtesy of that Envenom. We'll take an upgraded Finisher. We'll take a not upgraded Finisher, sorry. We'll take a Finisher. We'll upgrade Envenom to lower its cost. Especially because it's in our opening hand. Okay. So here I'm actually going to outmaneuver Survivor. Just so that I can chain off better on this turn. Yeah, because I've still got both of my blurs in my deck. So this chain should keep me safe for many moons to come. It's also worth noting, Finisher is going to trigger the Envenom multiple times. Which is like the biggest asset in its favor. The reason this deck can run the Envenom, by the way, primarily due to the fact that it's not actually an aggressive deck. It's just a non-aggressive deck that runs a lot of attacks. And all right, let me talk about everything else, and then I'll talk about why I'm not going to take the Ninja Scroll here. It's an aggressive tech. It's not an aggressive deck, but it runs a lot of attacks because it gets all of its defense primarily from After Image and Blur and the weaknesses that we apply to our enemies. Meaning, it is effectively just like a value deck, right? It doesn't actually do a ridiculous amount of damage. It's just it plays a lot of attacks and it generates a lot of defense. And it can do that near infinitely with enough energy gain. So Ninja Scroll, why am I not going to take it? Start each combat with 3 shivs in hand. Now, we have the Ring of the Snake and the Bag of Preparation. So our opening hand is already 9 cards large. If I take the Ninja Scroll, and if it triggers last, it is going to put a shiv in my hand and then 2 shivs in my discard pile. Shivs in my discard pile are actually good. Oh my god. Because of the unceasing top. They are true 0 cost because they won't cost me a card. All right, never mind. Boom. We're back on our shit. We're taking it. Definitely take a backstab. Needs upgrade finisher. Oh, never mind. They activated first. All right. Let's throw a weakness on you so that I can heal hook to get a card deeper in my deck. Ooh, we are definitely letting these orbs steal some cards from our deck, and then we'll murder them afterwards. Beautiful. You took a strike. Strike. Sorry, you took a slice. This one's already dead. Those still have to go in the midline there. Now that midline, the backline's dead rather. Strike here. And just double strike here as well. Beautiful. So now we get sliced back into our next hand. We've still taken no damage. And courtesy of those well-timed finishes. Speaking of, please draw a finisher, 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 please draw a finisher! Oh. Courtesy of those well-timed finishes, we got enough poison on the enemy to kill there. And you can see the Envenom has been super overperforming in this deck. It's 1000% adrenaline. It's just no contest. We need the extra energy, so again, it's going to be Runic Dome. But the thing is, our play plan doesn't really change based on what our enemies are doing at all, almost ever. And thankfully, Dono and Deca are real predictable. Got a 3 elite path with reasonable clearing. All right. Okay. Let's go 1 by 1 on these targets, because we actually should be able to take them all out without much difficulty. Sure. Okay. Make sure to drop the Survivor. Got another turn of defense from it. That'll go in the back line because midline's almost already dead. All right, beautiful, and they're all dead. I'll just leave it at that. Blade Dance. No, it's Deflect. Wow. I wanted Blade Dance because I was going, like, immediately, this is a deck that plays a lot of attacks, right? So the finisher benefits. But why would I not take Deflect? This has a cost associated with it. Even if it's good, it still has a cost associated with it that I don't need to incur. Ooh, Heel Hook is the one of these that I am most comfortable losing. I'm still not comfortable losing any of them, but it's the one I am most comfortable losing. I don't want to put any days in my deck, so our first priority is killing this Repulsor. That should be enough to defend me. It's too important that I throw the finisher on the Orb Walker. Perfect. Nice adrenaline. We'll actually strike there. That backliner stands no chance. Yeah, you're literally already dead. Sundial, every 3 times you shuffle your deck, gain 2 energy. Sundial and Unceasing Top in the same deck is actually bonkers. We'll drop the Artifacting Potion and pick up a weak potion here. But it's actually insane, because it makes it so much more simple to cycle through an entire deck and do it consistently, even if you have decks that have some cost associated with them. Cards, rather, that have some cost associated with them. Alright. And we should cycle through our deck pretty often. I mean, this is our first turn, and we have gone through, yeah, half of our deck. And we're pretty certain to go through the other half. Beauty. Alright, now I'm just going to start focusing on the backliner. Because I can, damn it! Prepared is not technically bad. Because it lowers your hand size. That's the maximum cost that Prepared has. But lowering our hand size isn't a bad thing. It's also not that good of a thing, right? It might discard a card that I do want to eventually draw. So I'm still not going to take it, but it wouldn't have been bad in the same way that it is usually bad. We'll upgrade that backstab because I need a little bit more immediate impact. A fight like this is likely to prove my point on that immediate impact. Okay. Oh, you bastard. I was really hoping to perfect that. Well, I'm technically still perfecting the fight, but I'm going to draw a burn sooner or later. It's in this hand, actually. Oh, nice! We had a survivor in the same hand as it. That's really lucky. Actually, I was only sad because I really wanted to play finisher and I didn't get to. Nice. Alright, Strawberry, raising max HP by 7. Wee bit of max HP there. So Skewer is an interesting pickup in a deck like this. The reason that you would take Skewer is because if you draw Skewer and you have no energy, you can cast it for 0 and you can still continue going through your deck. But that's not actually the type of Unceasing Top deck we're running. We're not running a deck that is heavily laden with 0-cost cards. We're running low-cost cards and a bunch of energy. So, as a result, Skewer is actually not going to be a great pickup for us. In fact, it's not even a consideration. I just wanted to make the differentiating factor here because I've had a deck recently... Bottled Flame. Let's put that finisher in the opening hand. I had a deck recently where I did take Skewer in a Unceasing Top deck. And it was because that deck was mostly built around removing anything with a cost and literally just having 0 costs. I don't know if it actually ended up achieving that. Colorless cards are typically 0 cost as well, so... I don't think I have that much that I want to upgrade that I would pay for an Apotheosis. I think it's thinking ahead here. It might even be Purity. No, it's thinking ahead. Jack of all trades, probably. Ah, no, dramatic entrance. Just a wee bit of extra opening. And there's the panache. Beautiful. Yes, I can still read it. Beautiful. Okay, so the silent now correctly gives you the lore for the Ironclad, whereas previously the Ironclad gave you the lore for the silent, and the silent gave you the lore for the silent. Fear. A demonic creature towers above you, wings spread wide as it howls with laughter. Dead bodies of a tribe surround you while the village is engulfed in terrible dark flames. The demon calls out to you, taunting you. You really are the strongest now. His laughter echoes forever. Well, that was charming. All right, let's go for the damage. Now, I put finisher on opening hand because these shivs exist in our opening hands, so... we were pretty likely to have a very potent opening hand. Enemy's already weakened, so I think I'm still taking 9 damage. I was actually going to guess 9. Yeah, the thinking ahead is almost never going to have an effect in our deck, but I mean, it was on offer and I didn't want any of the other cards, so no, almost never have an effect. It's positive, I guess. Alright, and then again. Oh, cool, I got extra energy from the sundial, so that's going to help me keep going. Thanks, game. That's what I was talking about with the sundial being quite appropriate for a deck like this. Really unfortunate to have finisher in this hand specifically. Alright, goodbye forever. Oddly smooth stone at the start of each combat, gain 1 dexterity. Not bad, not bad. I actually don't think I take the heal hook anymore. Yeah. Oh no, I totally do. I have 3 weakness potions. That was almost a horrible mistake on my part. Trying to make sure that I don't get below a limit where this spiker could actually damage me. I think it could now damage me. Oh, beautiful. Moida. None of that. Ooh, actually a deflect, sorry. None of that. Panache. 1000% panache. I mean, we are about to go into Donu and Decker as a fight. It's actually quite important that we get Donu and Decker down reasonably early. Alright. The primary reasoning for that is because if we don't get Donu and Decker down early enough, they're going to put a bunch of dazeds in our deck, which is going to stop our chain, and that's literally the only, like, significantly strong part of our deck is the chain. Old coin, gain 300 gold. Thanks, Ectoplasm. Not a weak potion, don't mind if I don't. Alright. Let's upgrade that deflect. Now, the frontliner is attacking for 10 damage this turn. If I weaken, they're going down to 7 by 2, so that's 14 incoming. So I've got to remind myself, 14 incoming. Now, I definitely kill the backliner first in this combat. So so that I can limit the buffs that get activated on Decker. Okay. I'll throw a neutralized potion on the frontliner. It's okay. I just want to throw all of my damage on the back line. Actually gonna put the heal hook back on top of the deck here. I'm gonna weaken the frontliner here. 2 days already in the deck. That's really unfortunate. Extraordinarily unfortunate for us. I mean, they are in the discard pile, not in the deck yet, so it could be worse, let's be honest. All right, now we go for Decker. Yeah, that's... Even more unfortunate is that drawing 1 dazed will end the chain. It's not like I can get both of the dazed out at the same time. Now, Decker isn't attacking this turn. I can't actually remember what Decker does this turn. Whatever it is, I want no part of it. Okay, we've got both the blurs active, and there's the dazed. As well as the dazed actually only occurred when we ran out of energy there. That actually was totally fine. Could scarcely have worked out better for me, in fact. And... beautiful. That's a beyond perfect silent right there. I'm really proud. 1,174. Now, we didn't get Highlander. We were off by 1 slice and 1 deflect. 2 slices, actually. 2 slices, 1 blur, and 1 defect. Yeah, that deck actually would have been significantly less viable without the second copy of Blur. And I think without the extra slices. So Highlander wasn't really going to happen there. Beyond Perfect, we defeated 3 bosses without taking damage. Combo was pretty much always going to happen. If we had a better turn with the finisher, or if we had any strength generation courtesy of something like Shuriken, then we easily would have gotten a overkill bonus as well. So that would have been another 25. Champion, yeah. Nebad. All of that actually looks really good. 1,174, I'm quite proud of it. For the moment, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you have been enjoying yourself, and hopefully we'll see you next time.